you got it on.
Mm-hmm.
This is yogurt I made last weekend just with, I did it for 28 to 32 hours. I think I actually went 32. And it was just yogurt from the store and organic milk. And it's really creamy, really tasty. This is kefir I've been making for months and months. And so it separates sometimes between the whey and the actual grains. So I mix it. I take a little bit, I take some spoonfuls like this and put it in my yogurt. And I do a little bit of juice too. So it mixes up kind of easily. Actually, what I've been doing, let me get a jar, is I have a, oh, where did I put it? I think it's in here. I have a ball jar. I had it this morning. Oh, here it is. With a wide mouth. And I've started using this to, I've got a mess. So what I want to do is I want to use some kefir and some yogurt. So I get some of each. Pour a little bit of that in there. And here's the lid. Put it right here. Okay. I want to keep my little gnats out. So I put the yogurt in here. In this jar. And then I have one more jar of fermented blueberries left. So I was all excited so we could do this video on the fermented blueberries. So this is fermented kefir, fermented yogurt, and I'll scrape that with and here are the blueberries. So I just opened this. It actually made this lid. It had pushed this lid out because the ferment had caused a lot of fermentation of carbon dioxide, which was making it like bubbly. And when I smell it, it smells really good. It does not have alcohol smell, but it did explode a little bit in the sink. So I take these, and these blueberries are kind of tough. They're not soft. So I take them and put them in. Oops, I dropped one. I take them and put them in. And the liquid is down low now because it kind of exploded up and out the jar. So I take a good many of these and put them in here. And these are salty blueberries along with sweet flavor of the blueberries. So I put a bunch of those in, put the lid back on, and I can stick these in the fridge. I could put a little bit more liquid in there to cover the blueberries. And let me pick this up, put it in here. All right, and then so I have all this in here, and then I take and put, I have this seed mixture, and this recipe is on our page on Overshare MD. So I put a few seeds, and these are a mix of sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, chia seeds. Does not have flax because you have to grind that. So it has several seeds in it. It's got pumpkin seeds.
Does it have basil seeds?
Yes, it has basil seeds. And then this is the coffee powder, I call it, but it's actually just a spice blend. So I call it Echo Ridge coffee powder. And I'll put like a spoonful of that in.
It smells good. I can smell it from
yes,
here.
It has the chai, the golden milk powder, the chocolate, and the mushroom powder. So I put that a lot of times in my breakfast. And then I am experimenting, trying to get sweeteners that come together without having quite so much erythritol. But this is allulose, erythritol, stevia, and monk fruit. This is not, I don't like this flavor of this as much. So I'm using a couple of spoonfuls of this right now. I'm still working on a blend and a recipe to make this taste good. Erythritol may be causing platelet aggregation in people when you use a lot of it every day. So I'm trying to figure out how to use less of the erythritol. The other sugars have issues with bitterness. The allulose has this kind of metallic taste, and stevia has a little bit of a bitterness or a kind of aftertaste that isn't so great. But if you mix them, they tend to taste better. So the mix that I've been using for a long time are these packs, which is whole earth. So the problem is I found out that this has monk fruit and stevia, but it's mostly erythritol and barely any of the other two. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if we can increase erythritol, increase stevia in these packs, use the allulose, which is actually supposed to be pretty decent, but get rid of some of those aftertastes. So I put a couple of those packs in with this, so it has a little bit less, there we go. And then I take my, I think by the end of it, I have one of these immersion blenders, and I blend it. And I'll have this about halfway, and I'll take it to work with me. So I blend this up. I've been trying, I was doing it for breakfast, but there is some benefit to doing more protein early in the day, and then doing some, this has more carbs in it because of the yogurt. There's more benefit to doing this later in the day. So I'm actually trying to switch my timing on when I eat these types of foods. And I have gone off completely off sugar and grains since June. And I've actually been able to lose, I lost about 9 or 10 pounds doing that. But I'm staying right where I am. I'm not trying to lose weight. This is kind of, oh, I'm making a mess. Okay. And I see a bee is coming out of her yellow jacket. I think it's flying around. So this is what I'm going to fix really quickly to go now. I'm going to eat a couple of eggs first, and then I'll drink this. So that'll give me a little bit more protein along with my yogurts. But the good benefit of all this is getting all the different ferments. So that's already 3 ferments in there. So I'm going to make noise. And typically I let this sit a while so the seeds can kind of absorb some of the liquid. I love these little spatula things. Rubber silicone, it gets everything off of there. All right, so I'll let this sit a bit. A lot of times I'll go in and take a shower, or I take this with me to work so it sits until I drink it a couple hours later at work. Today I'm going to drink it here at lunchtime. All right. So this is a way to get several ferments in. We're going to show some other ways to get ferments in with fermented tea. I mean with tea and some June, J-U-N, which is a type of kombucha over there in the jar. Yeah, that's made with honey and green tea instead of black tea and sugar, because I have people who bring me local raw honey. All right. So this doesn't take too long. I do a lot of my own food. Tim makes me my main meal with protein. He usually makes the meat and the vegetables. And but sometimes I kind of, so about 50% of the time I help make my meal, and about 50% of the time he makes my meals. So he had cooked this weekend, Friday, he cooked a bunch of meat, chicken on the grill, and some sausages. And so he did a bunch at once, so I usually have them in my fridge, and then he also hard-boiled some eggs, so I have those. But all the ferments I do myself. He doesn't do anything with the fermented products. He doesn't really eat it that much. He will eat it some, but not a whole lot. but I'm trying to eat it every day. So we're also, in a minute, we're going to talk about fermented Brussels sprouts, and this is beets. So we'll talk about those as well, and how to incorporate all these things into your meals every day and every meal if you can. That isn't always possible, but there's ways to do it.